Hey, what's going on, guys? FullFrontage here. Today, bringing you guys a Brawl Stars video, and I have two special guests coming onto the channel, Danny and Ano from Supercell. How's it going, guys?
I'm doing great.
Going really well.
Yeah, I'm not special because I'm here like every time. But Ano is special. You probably know him from Clash of Clans.
Yes.
His beautiful face. So please introduce yourself.
I love this. Hey everyone, my name is Ano. I'm the game lead of Clash of Clans, but then I have my own hands in Supercell Make as well. It's sort of has been my side project and my pet project.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about Supercell Make, and this is honestly one of the coolest community initiatives I've seen. I'm actually really excited to talk about this. So the first question I have is, how did Supercell Make come to life?
Daddy, do you remember? It was actually on a very special day. It was I kicked off the project when it was decided that Brawl will go global.
Mm-hmm.
So it coincided with that day, and I had started thinking about it way earlier, and I had talked to some people about it. But then when Brawl decided to go global, that was the moment where it's kind of everything clicked, and it started making a lot of sense. And the sort of like, I don't know if everyone is super familiar with how Supercell works, but we have pretty small teams, and that's because we believe that small teams can actually achieve the work that we seek to do better than large teams can. Like, you know, people have more ownership, they get to say exactly how we're going to do things, and they get to really drive things forward. The challenge of this is that we don't actually have a lot of people, which means that content production can be hard for us. And that's where I was basically coming at Supercell Make. I was coming in from that angle. So I was thinking, hey, maybe there's a way to actually work with the community to get some content into the games instead of doing everything ourselves.
Yeah, and I mean, even after Brawl Stars launched, there were countless posts on Reddit of course, one of the most familiar artists who actually is going to have his skin coming into the game, GD Core, has made like a ton of skins, and there's just so many different ideas from the community. And is that kind of what inspired the contest side of Supercell Make and what we see with it today?
I think it's actually, the community is super helpful, not just because of the talent. Obviously, there's a lot of people in the community who are super talented to have great ideas for the characters, but also to help us choose the best stuff. So that's why we have the voting system on the side, so that the best creations actually rise to the top, and then we have eyes on them.
Right, yeah, that's definitely super cool. And even the current campaign for Bibi and Bea, hero or villain, are these campaigns made with a long-term picture in mind, like the hero and villain part? Are we going to see potentially different set of skins? Like, do we have like the mining crew with Carl, Jacky, and Dynamike? Are there going to be possible like collaborations between like those types of units with the skins together?
I think it's a super cool angle. The frank and honest answer is that we don't know. So we're basically we're sort of like experimenting with things as we go along. And hero and villain, I think we wanted to sort of see different sides of Bibi and Bea. So it's obvious, like, Bea is this like really kind-hearted character, and Bibi is sort of the badass. We thought, hey, what if we flip these around and kind of saw what people come up with that angle in mind.
Okay, that's interesting. That's cool. See, different ways to look at it, which is definitely kind of goes behind the creativity of it. So that's really cool. So for my next question, you mentioned that the community has these really cool ideas and kind of helping the different skin ideas come to life. I've also seen a few people comment on a couple of my videos and in the community in general that they don't have a lot of experience with creating 3D models, but they want to participate in the Make contest. is there a consideration of adding a collaboration portal of some sorts to the Supercell Make site, so creators in the community can kind of team up together and make one really cool overall concept for the Make program?
You're not the first person to ask that, actually. I think it's as an idea, it's super cool, and it's definitely something we want kind of to happen. I can't really say, like, we would love to extend the site to facilitate that, but I can't really say when that could happen. In the meantime, I think people could actually just use places that we already have. So go on Reddit, talk to other people there, find the partners in crime that you can actually team up with to create cool content, and then just take it from there. And then also let us know if we can actually do something on the side to support it with like some low-hanging fruit.
Cool. Yeah, and I think that the community would love that, and seeing people collaborate together and making something really cool, because some of the submissions that we've seen from the Bibi and Bea and even the Bow campaign, like even the ones that did, even the two that didn't win, some of those skin concepts were amazing, and it was really cool to see the community create those ideas, and collaborating just leads to even more great content like that. So it's definitely really cool.
Absolutely. Like, I think like it's like you don't need to do everything yourself. It's okay if you're really talented at creating like cool concepts that are super creative and kind of just resonate with people, then just find the other person to make the 3D model for you. We unfortunately, not unfortunately, it's like we want to put this stuff in the game, so
right.
We want the 3D models, obviously, to go with the submissions, but don't let that hold you back. Just find the other person to do that stuff with you, and go ahead and submit your stuff.
Yeah, and like Eno said, definitely check out on Reddit, create a thread on there, and try to get people engaged. I'm sure most of the people who are involved in campaigns like this are also active on Brawl Stars social media channels. So that would definitely be a great place to find it. And even if you're looking for collaboration, try to reach out to people on Twitter and see if they'll help put the word out there and put your art out there, and just continuously help yourself find somebody who can help you make those 3D concepts. So for the next question, this is actually going to coincide with the campaign that's currently happening. What's the selection process once the community voting is closed?
Danny, do you want to take this? I think you were part of the last selection process.
Of course, like, voting is very important for us because we know what the community wants in the game, but we reserve ourselves the right to decide if we are going to pick that skin or not, even if it has like the most number of votes, just because we can prevent ourselves. Maybe they are voting for Egg Bowl or Egg Bibi, things like that. So just so we can prevent like trolls or anything. But of course, like in the latest one with Bow, we picked the most voted one, Getty Core, and then the other skin, the Demon Bow or Demonic Bow, I don't know. It was decided by voting as well, but inside the team. So we sit together, and then we just pick like a selection of 20 nice skins, and then Frank made like a battle between them, and then they was like voting this against this, and then the finalists, I think it was very funny. It was Demon Bow and Mime Bow. It was a very specific battle, a mimic against not a mimic, a mime against Demon, but Demon won. Sorry, Mime, not this time.
That's really is the selection process gonna stay like that for every contest, or is it just gonna vary depending on the submissions that you get?
Yeah, I think pretty much we do like that the voting has a very it's very important for the community to guide us a bit. So, but we would like to still reserve the right of us to decide if the skin is gonna pick or not.
Yeah, for sure. And what I think everyone should note that, like, we might actually pick more than just two. Like, we might pick, if we get really good submissions, we might take more than just two skins. Or like in the same way, if we don't get submissions that kind of make the cut, then we might actually, in the worst case, we might not pick anything. But I think that's very, very unlikely with the quality submissions that we're seeing already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even going through it, like when I saw the first iteration of the campaign and the bow campaign, I was checking it every couple days just to like see everyone's creative ideas and see the cool designs, and it's really, really awesome to see what the community creates. Is there any potential of people who submit a skin but didn't necessarily get picked in that specific campaign, that down the line, if there's some sort of maybe like a new environment that comes into the game, that a skin that was submitted in a past contest would actually fit well with, that they could get their skin in game at that point?
Yeah, I think it's fair enough. Like, if you have a cool skin that didn't get picked as a winner, and you think it's a great fit for a campaign that comes up later, by all means, I think you should totally submit that again and give it a go. And I think we might also, in some cases, be in touch with you. If we really like your stuff but the timing isn't right, then we might be in touch with you as well to just ask to use your skin later.
Right. That's really cool, and that also gives really good opportunities for people who are considering doing the campaign, but then it's like, oh, this might be like a one-off thing. So if you guys think it's gonna be some one-off thing, definitely, as just said, try your best, and if it doesn't work for one campaign and it fits also in another campaign, submit it again and just see what happens, because again, there are some really good quality skins that we saw even in the current Bibi and Bea campaign, but also in the bow campaign, that didn't necessarily make the cut, but it doesn't mean that they weren't good by any means, because there were a lot of good skins out there.
Yeah, and of course, with any creative process, if you didn't make the cut, if you didn't get picked, always try to seek feedback from other people, ask other people for opinions. What do you think about this? How could I improve it? And then just work more on the skin. And I think get people to vote on your stuff, get them to show us as well that your stuff is really liked.
One thing that I will tell some insider info, because one of the things that made Demon Ball be picked was that we imagined the actual brawler, the skin, in a game, in a match, and we saw that, okay, if you are seeing from this video where Brawl is, he looked very eccentric and very different from other brawlers, and because they had horns, and then we saw it could have those fire coming from where he walks, something like that. So then try to imagine how this skin will be in the game and see how it fits with the other characters, environments. That's a good tip to guide you.
Do you actually put it in game, like in a dev build of some sorts?
No, not yet.
No. Okay. That'd be really cool content to see on the the finalists, have them have their skin be in a dev build recording. Just throwing ideas out there, but
I think it's you're onto something there, I think. If we're working towards getting the creators some better tools so that you can actually test your stuff in a build.
Oh wow!
Some ways off still, but I think it would be really important for people to be able to test their stuff, also allow them to do custom animations, test out effects, do a little bit more than they can now, and really push the quality of their stuff to the next level. But I can't say when that's coming, but we're working on it.
Wow. Anyway. Going off of that, if you can answer this, kind of got me excited a little bit. What's the foreseeable future plans in Supercell Make? Is there anything we can expect to see soon that's not in the current campaign?
So we, on the platform side, we're actually going to rework how the voting system is going to work.
Okay.
So currently, the voting system is a little bit unfair to people who come late, because if you submit early, then you have more time to actually get votes and push yourself higher to get noticed. What we're going to do is we're going to change that so that you will need to get a set number of votes. So, for example, you will need 1,000 votes, but once you reach that number, then you will be marked as a finalist, and then that means that you will be considered for winner anyway. So it won't be so much about the absolute number of votes. It will just be a threshold that you have to reach to really get noticed. And that's hopefully coming very soon.
That's awesome. Is that planned for the next campaign, or is there any chance that makes it into the Bibi and Bea campaign?
I think we're going to roll it out with the next campaign just to kind of keep things consistent for this one. We don't want to change the rules while the race is on, so to speak.
That makes sense. Is there a certain place that people can submit ideas for campaigns? Should they just do that on social media? Or what's the best way for the community to send their ideas for campaigns?
I think, Danny, you can take this one. What is the best way to reach you guys? Well, of course, like we have a subreddit that is Supercell Make. You can actually go there, and of course, like people are more asking like technical questions. But of course, like if you tag me on Twitter or Frank or Ryan, we're always like reading everything you post. So if you have a really nice idea of what you would like to see in Supercell Make, just tag us there.
Cool. That's awesome. So the next question, once a winner is selected, do they work with the team's artists to get the skin in game, or is everything submitted ahead of time in the campaign process?
Whenever we can, we try to make sure that everything is submitted ahead of time. So we have a way of getting in touch with the creators, and like we will use that if we need to. If there's something that comes up, or we need to clarify something, or we need creator to do something extra. But the idea is that it should be as simple as possible for us to just take the skin you submitted and put it in the game.
Cool. And for those of you guys who don't know, there are campaign rewards. I'll read it for those of you who don't know. If your skin is selected for Brawl Stars by the development team, you are eligible to earn 25% share of the net revenue generated from your skin sales in the first 30 days of being available. Guaranteed minimum compensation is $10,000, and the maximum compensation is capped at $50,000. And then, of course, you guys read the Supercell Make terms of service. Is that going to kind of be like a constant in every campaign, or depending on the success of it, will it vary down the line?
I think all I can say is that has been sort of our plan all along, is to offer a revenue share for people who are submitting the skins, because we kind of feel that sets the incentives right. You want to make something that also sells and people actually love, not just do whatever. So, like, you win, we win, sort of a situation. So I think our plan is to roll with that revenue share. The specific kind of amounts that are there, those I think are subject to tweaking over time. But it's hard to say at this point,
right?
Because it really depends on the sales volumes and everything else.
Yeah, because the ones from the first campaign haven't made their way in game yet. I believe we're going to be seeing Horus Bow coming very soon. If not, it's already been released by the time this video is uploaded. For the in-game part of it, will there be like when you click on a map, it has the heart icon and says submitted by? Is there going to be a little credit like that in the skin menu for the skins that are put in from Supercell Make?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, there is.
That's cool. I saw GD tweet out earlier today that at the time we're recording this that a couple of the people had received their skins already, and in the top left it had the Supercell Make logo.
So if you tap that, then it says
Okay.
Made by Jetcore or something.
So you tap on the Supercell Make part.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I was trying to find that tweet. It's too far now.
It's gone. Will there ever be like workshops or classes added in on the Supercell Make site for aspiring artists to kind of learn a little bit more about how to design their skins specifically for Brawl Stars?
Yeah, we're looking into that. I think it would be super sweet to have some more materials. I think we're being pretty light at the moment with guidance, and I think it would be super sweet to change that for the better. We have been talking about making a video to start with some Brawl artists to talk about the style of the game, to help players actually get the tone of of their creations and skins right, and to make it really fit with Brawl Stars and the kind of tonality of Brawl Stars.
Right.
And also, I think it would be great to add some more like technical materials to help you kind of spec your skins correctly. Yeah, basically like make it better on all fronts. So we're looking into that. We'll definitely keep updating it as we go along. And again, I think if people have specific ideas of, hey, this kind of stuff would be good, please let us know, and then we can look into the specifics of adding that.
Yeah, cool. And will Supercell Make be limited to skins only? Or is there any current plans or ideas to kind of expand to environments down the line or things like that?
Anything's possible. I think it really depends on the Brawl team. So the game teams, the Supercell Make is sort of envisioned as a tool for the game teams to use and work with the community on each game. And it's very possible that we'll add other games onto Supercell Make down the line. And then when it comes to environments for Brawl Stars, it's a different kind of a pipeline. It takes some work to set it up. But if the Brawl team wants to make that happen, then I'm sure we can make that happen.
So Danny, do you have anything for Aino to discuss about Supercell Make?
Yes, Aino, talk to us about the guidelines they should follow before submitting.
Oh yeah, so we have a lot of submissions coming in, and we've had to unfortunately block some of them because they haven't been technically either correct. So there's people submitting with broken thumbnails, broken textures, a 3D model that's missing. So a message to everyone would be that please read the guidelines, please check that your stuff is correct before you submit it, and then you'll have a better chance of actually making it in the game with it.
Yeah, and the guidelines can be found on the Supercell Make campaign page, and I will also leave a link to the guidelines down in the description below. Do you have any sort of advice for people who are looking to create skins in certain campaigns? Like, is there a specific image that you're going for outside of the kind of the base text around the campaign? I guess like the overall skin feel and like the cosmetics of Brawl Stars itself.
Yeah, I think a good starting point is to look at the other skins in Brawl Stars and kind of like think about that a little bit, like what kind of skins are these? And from my point of view, I think a lot of the successful skins in Brawl Stars are interesting characters by their own right. They're not just like, okay, this is a Bibi who's a biker, or this is a Bibi who's a nurse. So don't just take a profession Bibi or profession Bea. Think about, okay, like if this character was an evil genius, what would they look like in that case? Like, or whatever, just don't make it a profession something, but think about the character more deeply and think, would this character actually be cool for players in Brawl Stars to play with? Would they actually love to play with this character? And then take it from there.
Cool. down the line, are there? We saw one community made like Brawl Stars anime, which was super cool. Is there a plan to expand the Make campaign outside of just the skins in terms of like beyond environments from what we talked about earlier, but also like video animations of some sorts? Like, will there be assets provided for people who want to like really take the time and develop something of that caliber?
We'll have to see, I guess. One thing to consider is that although Make is a pretty kind of flexible platform overall, I don't think it might be the right place for everything. So there might be initiatives that we want to do, like the community outsourced video that we did, where the community basically drew a frame by frame. We considered that for Make as well. Or like, could we do that on Make? And then in the end, we decided that it's like actually it would be a little bit awkward with the structure how Make is set up. So we always take that into account as well.
That makes sense.
Who knows what the future will hold? I think we'll keep our eyes open and see like what makes sense. So keep your ideas coming. We'll definitely read them all and always consider if it would make sense for a platform like Make.
One question for you, Dan. Do you have something would you like to see for Bibi or Bea? How do you see villain, evil Bea or a good guy Bibi? Do you have an idea?
Me?
Yeah.
I think I kind of based off like what Ano has said, in terms of like thinking about the overall art style of Brawl Stars and not necessarily thinking about the profession of the brawlers. I think it'd be cool to see Bibi as sort of like a, I don't know why, but when I look at Bibi, I think of Elastigirl from The Incredibles.
Oh.
So I think it'd be cool to have it in like a very superhero like costume, because I just get that kind of aesthetic from Bea. And then for Bibi, I think it actually might be cool to see a few ideas around like a either like a magician or a scientist, and have like, because when she swings, I think of like it doesn't have to be like a bat or a sword. It could be like she lights her hand on fire and swipes fire across. Or with a scientist, she has like a potion and like splashes like the potion or something like that. I don't know. Those are like the kind of ideas that I'm thinking of, like going off in different directions. So I don't know.
Maybe you should get someone to work with you, man.
Can barely make my own thumbnails. I don't think I could do content.
Cool.
So is there any small tidbits of advice that you would give to people who are looking to submit to the campaign, and kind of what the general idea of what Supercell is looking for in the skins being submitted to the campaigns?
Yeah, from our point of view, I think it's like we want to get the message out that, well, basically like let people know what kind of stuff we would like to get submitted and what kind of stuff we're looking for, because like we want the right stuff for the game so that the Brawl team falls in love with it and picks it for the game.
So that is all the time we have for today. Danny, Ano, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Really appreciate you guys coming out and talking about the Supercell Make. I'm very excited for this, and I think the community is loving all the skins that are being submitted and potentially being sent into the game. I mean, we saw the huge success that GD had posting on social media that he was giving away skins. The reception to that was absolutely insane. So hopefully the success continues, and I don't think there's any reason why it shouldn't. So again, thank you guys so much for coming on the channel today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Cool. So that is going to do it for today's video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss any Supercell content, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later. Peace out.